sa aming serbisyo. Walang problemang di malalampasan. Magliliwanag ang ating kinabukasan. DANHS Radio, silid-aralan sa radyo. Hatid namin makabagong paraan ng pagtuturo. Kahit saan at kahit kailan, hindi ka iiwanan. Hatid namin bagong kaalaman. Edukasyo'y susulong, basta't magtulong-tulong. Sulong edukalidad, DANHS Radio. Learning is amazing.
Ibigay impormasyon kahit saan man.
For something big. All right, here we go.
106.3 DANHS Radio. Doña Aurora National High School, Santa Rita, Aurora, Isabela.
This
106.3 DWDR-FM. Facts and information. Today's learning for you normal. With capable teachers whose heart and soul are divine. Delivered knowledge inside your home through 106.3 DANHS Radio. Fully dedicated to serve the public in tribute to education, reproduce of radio-based instruction. We are pleased to deliver the utmost aim of education. Only here on 106.3 DWDR-FM.
Hello, Donyans. A blessed morning to one and all. Can we start this day with love? Hello, Donyans. A blessed morning to one and all. Can we start this day with love and compassion? Of course. A wonderful morning to our energetic mayor, Joseph G.V., to our workaholic officer in charge, the Chief Education Supervisor of SDO Isabela, Sir Rod, to our Assistant Principal, Madam Ruby, to our Head Teacher, Madam Ophel, to the English Learning Area. Thank you for your unstinted support, and hello to parents of grade 10 learners who engage listening now. To 10 Aguinaldo and 10 SPA, good morning. And of course, to our two guests. With me is Sir Dennis. Sir Dennis,
Yes, sir.
may we have your greetings?
Yes. Okay. Magandang umaga. Good morning. We would like to greet also my 10 Del Pilar. Yan, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Just keep on watching and listening to us. We are narinig po nyo kami live sa aming radio station, and also live din po nyo kaming napapanood ngayon sa aming official Facebook page. At sa tingin ko, we also nasa din po tayo, sir. Nasa YouTube din po tayo. Yan. Good morning po. Good morning.
Okay, Ma'am Bells.
Yes, sir. Hello, everyone. Good morning to all our avid listeners and viewers here and abroad. Of course, a special mention to my 10 SPJ and 10 Archimedes classes.
And Ma'am Chen.
Amazing morning to all of us and to all our listeners. Amazing morning also to my grade 10 Rizal and grade 10 Zamora. Hello as well to my Kaela or Ka-English Learning Area. Please, dear listeners, stay with us until the end of this session, until 11:50 in the morning.
Okay, ready your learning activity sheet and use your writing materials. And now, here is our RBI lesson for today.
Wala nang makakapigil pa. Sulong Arangkada 106.3 DANHS Radio sa Aurora, Isabela.
Edukasyo'y susulong, basta na magtulong-tulong, sulong edukalidad. DANHS Radio, learning is amazing.
Language,
Grammar and Literature,
a program that will develop your vocabulary.
Comprehension, Critical and Analytical Skills.
This is the English Learning Area. Only here on 106.3, the WDRFM Dance Radio.
Where learning is amazing.
Good morning, our dear listeners, especially the grade 10 learners of Doña Aurora National High School. This is your school on the air, and it's English time. We are happy to be with you today, dear learners. You can tune in every day in our station, 106.3 FM, Dance Radio. I am your host for today, Teacher Dennis Mendoza. With me is Teacher Michael John M. Tumulak, our technical specialist. Today, we are going to discuss language of research.
Wow!
How are you doing? It's nice to hear that you are good. We have reached this moment where we have only 1 quarter left to finish for school year 2020-2021. Sending you our words of praise for that achievement. Good job! Well, I hope you are full of enthusiasm for today's lesson. Let's begin with our lesson for today. Let me introduce to you your radio teacher, Teacher Jennifer Velasco.
Good day, dear listeners, especially to our dear grade 10 learners who are listening right now. Welcome to another fun and exciting episode on English Time. I am Teacher Jennifer Velasco, your radio teacher and companion for a better way to understand of today's lesson. But before we start, let's have some review about our past lesson. Have you already made a research in the past?
Ma'am, I remember we had some researches last time to get evidences to support our claim for our argumentative essay.
I can also remember that. And you already made a thesis statement for your argumentative essay. You probably made a careful or diligent research to collect evidences to support your claim. What do we mean by thesis statements again?
Ma'am, a thesis statement is usually at the end of an introductory paragraph. The sentences that precede the sentence will introduce it, and the sentences that follow will support and explain it. Just as topic sentence introduces and organizes a paragraph, a thesis statement helps readers recognize what is to follow.
Exactly! But today, we will learn that research is simply the process of discovering new information, and it has basic parts. I repeat, research is simply the process of discovering new information, and it has basic parts. I know we are all excited. Here are the learning objectives for today's lesson. You are expected to, first, identify the different terms used in research, which is our most essential learning competency. Second, to appreciate the importance of being familiar with the technical terms used in research. And the last, to develop a thesis statement based on the given topics. My dear learners, our lesson is very essential because we will learn the essential elements of writing a research paper and take careful notes of its part. For our first learning activity, let's listen to the story titled A Beautiful Solution. I want you to listen very carefully, then answer what will be asked later on. I will just give you 2 easy questions, so no worries. The story goes like this.
A beautiful solution. A father was engrossed in his work while his little daughter constantly distracted him in an attempt for him to make him play with her. To keep her busy, the man tore into pieces a page of printed map from a magazine and asked her to go to her room and put them together to make the map again. The daughter was very young, and he was pretty sure that she would take hours to get it done. The father was surprised when he saw his little one coming out of the room with a smile and the perfect map within a few minutes. The stunned man asked his daughter how she could solve the puzzle quickly.
Daddy, there is a woman's face on the other side of the paper. So I made the face perfect. I got the map right,
replied the young girl.
Alright, you have just listened to it. How did you find the very short story?
Ma'am, it is very inspiring. We can't underestimate a little child.
That's true. What is the problem in the story?
Ma'am, the problem is how could a little child put the torn picture of a world map together, which when she only knows basic things in the world.
Absolutely. Well, was she able to put them together?
Yes, Mom. She even solved it quickly.
Very good listener. How did she solve it so quickly?
Ma'am, she saw a woman's face on the other side of the paper. She made it perfect, so she got the map right.
That's incredible. You are right. This story teaches us that there is always the other side to whatever you experience in this world. Whenever we come across a challenge or a puzzling situation, look at the other side. You will be surprised to see the different approaches to tackle the problem, right?
Yes, ma'am. And every problem has a solution.
What a powerful message! The greatest weapon that we can always use is our brain. Now, get ready to sharpen our weapon, which is our brain, so we can fight against our ignorance, particularly in the field of research. Coming up next, we will discuss more about research and its parts. We have more interesting things ahead, so hang on. Do you encounter problems in accomplishing the different activities in your modules or learning activity sheets?
Worry no more because your teachers are always ready to guide and assist you. You can send your questions or clarifications in 2 easy ways. 1. Call or text, and 2. Private message. So easy, right? Remember, at Doña Aurora National High School, we make amazing things possible.
This reminder is brought to you by Doña Aurora National High School and this station.
Hello, I'm back! Remember, the title of your learning activity sheets is Language Research. Make sure you have your notebook and pen with you to take down notes. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started! Just like in the story a while back, it has a problem and solution. Problem and solution are just a few of the common words you will encounter in doing your research work. The problem is the very reason why we conduct research. But how do we solve a problem through research? This is the moment that you gather your data or perhaps do some experiment to help you analyze the problem until you come up with a solution. Research provides us with the information and knowledge needed for the problem solving and making decisions. You can surely relate to our topic. If you have not made a research before, you can definitely learn the basics of research in today's topic. Ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Turn your learning activity sheets on page 1. You will see the background information of what research is. The term research is made of two words, re, which means again, and search, which means to find. Or in other words, research is a repeated process of finding the truth and of validating the existing truth. Can you repeat?
Ma'am, research is a repeated process of finding the truth and of validating the existing truth.
Yes, exactly. It is the adult form of the science fair projects back in your elementary school, where you try and learn something by performing an experiment. This is best accomplished by turning the issue into a question with the intent of the research to answer the question. To begin researching something, you must have a problem, concern, or issue that has turned into a question. For sure, you are going to make research paper in the future.
Alright!
What is a research paper?
Ma'am, a research paper is an expanded essay that presents your own interpretation or evaluation or argument.
That's correct. And to be able to do it, you have to be familiarized with the technical terms used in research. How many technical terms are used in research?
Ma'am, there are 11 of them.
Correct. In writing a research paper, it is very important for you to take careful note of its parts. Can you give one?
Ma'am, the title page, oftentimes referred to as cover page. This section is where you indicate the title of your research, your name, institutional information, and a few other relevant information.
Yes, the title page of a book, thesis, or other written work is the page at or near the front which displays its title, subtitle, author, publisher, and edition. Every book you read has a title page, and I'm pretty sure you are all aware of it. Another is the introduction. What does introduction provide?
Ma'am, it introduces the problem by providing a brief background of your research.
Awesome! It presents background information, scope, and focus of the research paper. It states the objectives of the study or a statement of the problem and significance of the study. Most research begin with a thesis statement at the end of an introductory paragraph. Even if it is not a requirement, it's a good idea to write a thesis statement as you begin to organize your research. Let's proceed to the next part of a research. What is it?
Ma'am, the literature review. This section is where you will be providing all the relevant readings from previous works, and it provides brief summaries or descriptions of the works of other authors.
That's perfect! Make sure that your research material are taken from credible sources like books, encyclopedias, and other academic books or journals. Also, make sure that your reading materials are relevant to the topic of your research paper. The literature review typically includes the name of the authors, the titles of their works and the year of the publication of these works.
Ma'am, can I also use those taken from the internet?
Yes, the common source of reliable, credible information you will find on the internet is through scholarly journals and databases.
Wow!
These academic, peer-reviewed collections provide you with extensive reports, case studies, articles, and research studies to help bolster your research process. How about now the conceptual framework?
Ma'am, conceptual framework is a set of coherent ideas or concepts organized in a manner that makes them easy to communicate to others.
Right, it also offers a logical structure of connected concepts that helps provide a picture or visual display of how ideas in a study relate to one another within the theoretical framework. Now get ready to define other terms in research. Who can give the next term used in research that we should know?
Ma'am, methodology is where you will be providing the methods that you will be using in your research.
Very good! For the research methods, let's remember OZ. O stands for observation, S stands for surveys, I stands for interviews, and E for experiments. You are going to use these procedures for collecting and analyzing data. Data are units of information, often numeric, that are collected through observation. When you have already gathered your data, the next step is analyzing data. What can you say about analysis of data?
Ma'am, it is where you will be analyzing the data that you have obtained from the method that you have chosen.
Very well said. Now let's have the results, findings, or presentation of data. Here, you will be presenting the actual results of the analysis that you have made based on your chosen methodology like OC, observation, survey, interview, and experiment. Let's now have discussion or the implication of data analysis. This is the section where you need to present the importance of your study and how it will be able to contribute to the field. Again, this is also the section where you need to present the importance of your study and how it will be able to contribute to the field. After the data analysis, what comes next?
Ma'am, provide conclusion to your research paper. Restate your general thesis in this section and include a brief restatement of the other parts of the research paper, such as the methodology, data analysis, and results.
Brilliant! Other parts are the reference page or the bibliography and appendices. I know these are not new to you. In reference page, you will list down all the academic materials you have used as sources of information in your research paper. It provides the information necessary for a reader to locate and retrieve any source you cite in the body of the paper. Appendices is the last few pages that support your analysis, validates your conclusion, or pursues a related point. Can you give examples of information that could be included in an appendix?
Ma'am, figures, tables, charts, or graphs of results, statistics, questionnaires, transcripts of interviews, pictures, maps, drawings, letters, and etc.
Excellent! To summarize the lesson, who can enumerate the different terms used in research?
Ma'am, the basic parts of a research are title page, introduction, review of related literature, conceptual framework, methodology, analysis of data, presentation of data, discussion of data, conclusion, reference page, and the appendices.
Very well said. What else have you learned today?
Mom, I have learned that research is simply made up of two words. Re, which means again, and search, which means to find.
That's nice. What else can you share?
Ma'am, I have learned that we conduct research because there is a problem that needs a solution.
You are awesome! Congratulations, students! You are able to identify the different terms, appreciate research, and share your learnings in today's lesson. That ends the discussion of our lesson today. I think we have covered everything that we needed to discuss. Stay tuned and we will be right back.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. I have just finished accomplishing the task found in my module. How can I send you my outputs for checking and feedbacking?
Oh, that's a nice question. There are actually 3 ways for a student like you to submit your outputs. 1. It could be via online. That is, if you are capable to connect online. You can just upload your outputs in your Google Classroom, or you can take pictures and send them through your group chat or messenger account.
Ma'am, how about if we do not have internet connection?
If you do not have internet connection, you can submit your accomplished tasks in 2 ways. 1. You can ask your parents to submit your outputs in the designated drop-off center. 2. You can save your outputs if you have available flash drive, CD, or DVD at home, and submit it in the designated drop-off center in your respective barangay.
Wow! It's nice to know that there are varied ways on how we can submit our accomplished task.
Always remember, for submission of outputs, you can do it via online, offline, or physical submission. Because at DANHS, we make amazing things possible.
I'm back! Before we proceed to the developing of your thesis statement, let's remember the importance of learning the technical terms used in research. These are the tools that will equip and prepare you to start your journey in research that will lead you to discoveries and eventually be the instrument in finding greater solutions to existing mysteries and problems surrounding humanity. You are now on the final test. Again, a thesis statement is one sentence that expresses the main idea of a research paper or essay. Now, between these 2 statements, which is a thesis statement? Is it letter A, students' perception on the modular learning modality? Or letter B, educate people at work or on campus about global poverty? I repeat, is it letter A, students' perception on the modular learning modality? Or B, educate people at work or on campus about global poverty?
Ma'am, letter A, students' perception on the modular learning modality.
Well done! You were able to identify the thesis statement correctly. Let's proceed with activity 2 and let's see how good are you in giving a thesis statement on topic given in your learning activity sheets. You may do so after this broadcast. Now let's proceed to activity 3. You will identify the basic parts of the research paper. Ready?
Yes, ma'am.
What do we call this part of a research where your background information, scope, and focus of the research paper are presented?
Ma'am, it is the introduction.
That's great! How about this? This section provides a review of what others have written or researched on concerning the topic.
Ma'am, the answer is literature review.
That's fantastic! Remember, you have to finish answering this activity after the broadcast. Dear learners, don't forget to finish and answer correctly the reflection, weekly validating questions, summative tests, and all other requirements. Once again, congratulations! That ends our session this morning. I have such a nice time spent with you. Let us always remember what Vincenzo Casano said. Ignorance is not a sin, but refusal to learn is. So never stop learning. That's it for now. Just call me up and send me a message if there is anything else that I can do for you. Thank you for tuning in. Once again, this is your radio teacher, Teacher Jennifer A. Velasco. Till next time!
Thank you very much, Teacher Jen, and also to our dear learners for spending another wonderful morning with us. I'm pretty sure that today's discussion will help you to your journey. I would also like to acknowledge our technical specialist, Teacher Michael John Tumulak, our scriptwriter, Teacher Raquel A. Dumlao, our language evaluator, Teacher Jonah A. Buduan,
Alright!
and our content evaluator, Teacher Ophelia S. Relutin. This is your host, Teacher Dennis Mendoza, saying goodbye and God bless.
Language,
Grammar, and literature.
a program that will develop your vocabulary.
Comprehension, critical and analytical skills.
This is the English Learning Area. Only here on 106.3, the WDRFM Dance Radio.
Dance Radio, where learning is amazing. Dance Radio, siniparalan sa radyo. Atid namin makabago, paraan ang pagtuturo.
Wala nang makakapigil pa. Sulong Arangkada 106.3 Dance Radio sa Aurora, Isabela.
Edukasyo'y susulong, basta't magtulong-tulong, sulong edukalidad. Dance Radio, learning is amazing.
Wonderful. Fantastic. You have just heard the first lesson for quarter 4, the language of research. Welcome to the world of formal writing research. Our first learning activity sheet limits you on the parts of a research paper you are going to use in your academic writing. Research is one of the examples of scholarly work under academic writing, and all learners under the special science class and the special program in journalism have research on the regular subject. My dear grade 10 learners, we shall be walking through the field of research with our two experts, Ma'am Bez.
Yes, Sir Vic. Once again, good morning to all our dear listeners. Today is indeed an amazing day because we have with us today people, or shall I say experts, who will enlighten us on our lesson on writing research papers. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear grade 10 learners, let us welcome our two highly esteemed and seasoned research teachers from the science learning area. We have Ma'am Donabel G. Velasco and Ma'am Benjelu R. Paraiso. Welcome, Ma'am Bem,
Hello,
Ma'am
good morning,
Donna,
ma'am.
and Ma'am Bench.
Good morning po.
Good morning.
Good morning po.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Bess, for that generous introduction. I guess our two experts are very eager to share their views about conducting a research paper as a requirement for moving up in both the special science class and the special program in journalism. To formally start our discussion today, may we call in Sir Dennis Mendoza to direct the flow of the discussion. Our moderator, Sir Dennis.
Okay, as the moderator for this lesson, our dear learners and viewers, may I have your attention? Our presentation is about to begin. Distinguished teachers of the English learning area, distinguished discussants from the science learning area, our dear learners, good morning. Without further ado, I would like you to welcome Ma'am Donabel Velasco and Ma'am Vangelo Paraiso, who shall explain to us the real language of research based from their hands-on experiences. Ma'am Donabel shall be focusing her discussion on practical research and Ma'am Vangelo on experimental research. Let's try to find out the significant similarities and differences in terms of parts of the research paper, subject or topic or content, and methodology applied. We do it by chapter so that we can relate well. And if you have any questions later on, don't hesitate to ask us later and write your question on the comment box, and we will try our best to answer it. Ma'am Donna and Ma'am Benjelu, please take it away.
Benj. Ako? Okay. Okay, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
In writing, thank you for having us here. We will be talking about the writing of or pairing and how to prepare a research paper. This only for the science or special science classes. Kasi yun lang naman po ang clear kami. So we'll be starting with the first three chapters. We make up the research proposal, then to mag-proceed tayo ng chapter 4 and 5 and the last part of the research paper. So with me is Ma'am Benjelu Paraiso. Nakasama ko pong nagtuturo ng research in grade 10 for the science classes. Ma'am Benj.
Yes, thank you, Ma'am Donna. Yan, so tulad ng nasabi po ni Ma'am Donna, ang i-discuss namin ngayon ay kung ano po yung about the different parts of science research paper or manuscript. Ayan. So, a research paper or science research paper consists of 5 chapters.
Okay.
Tama ba, Ma'am Dong?
Ma'am.
Yes. Chapters. Ang unang chapter natin is actually about the introduction. Second chapter is about the review of related literature. Third chapter is about the methodology. Fourth is the presentation, analysis, and interpretation of data. And then the last chapter is about the summary, conclusion, and recommendations. Pero there are other preliminary pages and appendices included. So, yung binabanggit naming chapters, our dear learners, are the main parts of our research paper. Ayan. So, we shall discuss about the different parts of each chapter. Ayan. Di ba, Ma'am Dong?
Yes. So, Ma'am Benj, paano natin uunahin? So, i-discuss muna namin that in writing a research paper, ang una natin i-prepare ay yung atin pong proposal. So, sa pagsulat po ng investigatory project, kasi yan po ang ginagawa sa special science class, ang una nagawa natin is to prepare the proposal. So, ano po ba ang laman ng proposal natin? Ma'am Benj.
Yan. So, when we say proposal, hindi pa nagagawa kasi you're proposing. So, in this proposal, it contains 3 chapters. We have chapter 1, 2, and chapter 3. Ayan. And when we say proposal, the tenses of the verbs here are in future tense. Ayun, yun siguro mamaya makikita natin, no? Kung ano yung difference ng tenses ng ating verbs later on. Okay. So, for chapter 1, pareho lang po naman. Yung final na manuscript, pareho lang naman siya may chapter 1, 2, 3. Pero when we say proposal, ang meron lang talaga sa kanya is chapters 1, 2, and 3. Ayan, wala siyang 4 and 5. Analysis and interpretation, summary and conclusion, recommendation. Wala mo na yun. Okay, so, pero yung laman ng proposal natin, chapter pareho lang naman po kung anong nilalaman ng buong manuscript natin. Yan, kaya punta tayo sa una nating chapter, which is chapter 1. Yan, Ma'am Dong, ano po ba ang nilalaman ng ating chapter 1?
Okay. So, ang chapter 1 po natin, meron po siyang mga parts, no? Mag-start po tayo sa background, sa ating background of the study. Yun po yung una. And then meron po siyang SOP, yung ating mga problem statement. And then yung ating na-formulate na hypothesis, significance of the study, yung ating scope and limitation. And after that, yung ating definition of terms. So, unahin po natin yung background of the study. So, ano po bang sinusulat natin dito sa background of the study? So, ito po ay composed ng 3 to 5 paragraphs. So, hindi po sa kailangan mahaba. So, ano po yung mga una natin kailangan magkaroon tayo para po ay makasulat ng background of the study. Una, kailangan po dito, nabasa na natin ang scope ng study. Kasi nga po tayo isusulat background of the study kapag hindi po tayo nakapagda.
Yes.
Ano?
So, ang research talaga, Ma'am Dong, na kailangan na wide readings yan. Kasi sa background learners, kailangan na nating nakapagbasa. Tama po ba, Ma'am Dong?
Yes.
Yan. So, sa background, Ma'am Dong, na ito kasi, di ba, ang description natin ng ang background kasi, it helps us prove the relevance of our research questions to other further developed research studies. Tama po ba?
Yes, Ben.
Okay.
So, paano yung sinusulat yan? Usually, mga part po tayo ng background of the study. Sa pagsulat natin, hindi basta magsulat ng background, anong gusto natin isulat sa first part, sa second paragraph, sa last paragraph. Usually, doon po sa first paragraph ng background of the study, hinihingi po niya yung design problem. So, pag-identify na po tayo ng problem, alam natin na nag-exist yung problem. So, yun po ang una nating nalagay. Bakit naman kailangan i-start sa problem? Kasi yun po ang dahilan kaya tayo makandang research, kaya tayo gumagawa ng proposal. So, ang gawin natin, sa background pa lang, we try to encourage the reader. Sino po ba ang reader? Sino po ba ang magbabasa ng background natin o yung proposal natin? Yun pong research advisor. So, yan po ang una nating kumbaga audience. No? Kapag meron tayong palabas, yung una natin i-encourage dapat is the one who will be giving you the permit to conduct the study. Ayun po yung ating research advisor. Okay, Ma'am Bench, after nakapag-discuss na tayo o naka-identify na tayo ng problem, ano yung susunod natin na gagawin?
So, malinaw po yung ayan. So, malinaw po yung sabi ni Ma'am Dong na we should have problem to solve. Okay? Pero, syempre, we need to prove that the problem exists. So, in the second paragraph of our background of the study, we need to introduce facts about our research topic or problem. So, we need to present statistics that tell us specific numerical information and that can help you to prove that the problem really exists. Ayun. Pero siguro sa ano natin, personal opinions or statements or discourage on this part. Hindi pwedeng, halimbawa, sabihin natin that our focus in our research studies about solving waste in our environment. Paano natin masasabi na problema talaga ang waste sa Aurora kung wala naman tayong numerical data? So we have to prove. Kung gusto nating isolve ang water pollution or isolve natin ang a certain kind of problem in our environment, in scientific research, we need to give numerical information or statistics so that we can really encourage that the problem that we are trying to solve or finding a solution is actually existing in the environment. Ayun. So, yun. Yes, Ma'am Dong. Nakamute ka, Ma'am Dong. Nakamute ka po, Ma'am Dong.
Okay. Saan natin pwedeng kunin, Ma'am Benz, yung mga data na ipipresent natin dyan o yung mga statistics? Di ba kailangan nating mag-send ng data?
Ma'am. Actually, ngayon, sa makalumang paraan, kumukuha tayo sa mga journals, research journals. Pero dahil po hindi naman pwede ang physical na paglabas natin, pwede talaga tayong kumuha sa internet. Kaya lang po, we have to filter. Kailangan natin i-filter kung ano po yung mga sources natin. Pwede tayong manguha ng mga data, statistics sa internet, pero dapat po ang pipiliin nating mga sources ay talagang reliable sources. Hindi, in research po, it is also discouraged to get information from newspapers. Hindi po siya valid na reference, mga facts. Kasi po ang reason doon, yun ay maaaring valid lang sa araw na susunod na araw ay hindi na. Ang pinaka-valid pa rin ating research papers, mga research journals, and po sa scrutiny ng mga experts. So pwede tayong kumuha sa internet, pero magpipiliin natin yung ating tamang sources. Ayan po. Ayan. So after presenting the statistics, Ma'am Dong, ano naman po yung susunod?
Okay. So pag nandyan na yung mga statistics, ano na yung susunod natin gagawin? Di ba kapag na-i-present na natin yung statistics, we have already presented evidence that the problem is existing. Ngayon, is the problem new? Bago ba sa atin yun? So if the problem is not new to us, bago, there had been some actions or solutions from the government or some groups or non-government groups na naggawa na to solve the problem. Pwede nating i-present yun kung meron po tayong makikita, especially those which had been conducted o yung mga researches na yung mga solutions gawa na locally. So kung meron tayong mga different solutions na nagawa na locally or doon sa international level, siguro pwede nating i-mention, di ba, bench? And then, after that, you can present already kung grupo kayo or ikaw lang, individual proponent, you can now already discuss how you are going to address the problem you had presented.
Yes, Ma'am Dong. So makikita natin dito, Ma'am Dong, sa background, makikita na natin yung nature ng scientific research. We are solving a problem. So yun po yung main goal ng science research. We need to have a problem and we need to find or propose a solution for that problem. Pero hindi lahat ng researches ay ganon. Meron din mga researches kasi, our dear learners, na descriptive in nature. They are not finding solutions but they are describing a problem. And in data, di ba, Ma'am Dong? Pwedeng descriptive lang din siya. Pero in science research kasi, we are looking for a possible solution to an existing problem. So, yun ang background.
Then, una tayo susunod, Ma'am Ben, yung ating second part of chapter 1 is the statement of problem. Yes. O dito, meron tayong na-identify at na-present factor. Ngayon, you have to have, no? Mag-formulate ng more specific problem para makuha natin yung big problem doon sa nasabi natin sa background of the study. Ito ngayon yung ating mga specific problem for your SOP. Bench, ito yung pinaka mahirap gawin sa chapter 1, di ba? So, paano usually yung pagka-state ng ating problem? Is it in question form or objective form? Kasi pwede siyang objective type, ma'am, ano? So, may mga schools kasi kung sa investigatory project writing, meron silang kanya-kanyang style. Kahit sa institutions ganyan, they have their own style of doing their research. Pero yung ginagawa natin sa social science, ma'am bench, interrogative, ang pag-state ng ating SOP.
Yes, ma'am. Pero meron na rin tayo experience na ginawa din natin siyang statement form, declarative siya. Naka-sentence siya. Oo. So, pwedeng, ang research problem can be stated in form, pwede rin siyang in declarative form or yung naka-objective type siya. Okay? So, sa mga learners natin, ang ating tinatawag na statement of the problem, it is the second part of our chapter 1. It is the backbone research. Lahat nakaangkla kay statement of the problem, kay objective. Kaya ito yung pinakamatagal natin. Kasi ito yung ng lahat ng bagay sa ating research. Kaya maayos dapat talaga siyang na-state at clear yung ating objective.
Okay. Meron din tayong experience, ma'am bench, na habang kinoconduct na yung study, niko-conduct na, kaya lang may mga nakikita tayong mga pwedeng pagbabago pa. Pwedeng at the middle of the conduct of your study, nagbago pa rin yung ating mga SOP. Na-meet nyo din ba yun?
Yes, ma'am. Pwedeng nadadagdagan.
So,
kung ano.
nadadagdagan. Pwedeng nagbabawas tayo. Kasi meron po tayong mga limitations. Lalo na ngayon, ma'am bench.
Yes, ma'am. Ayan. So, yun yung second part natin. Ano yung third part, ma'am?
Okay, yung third part natin, we have the statement of hypothesis. Okay. So, ma'am bench, pag naka-formula tayo ng mga problem, naka-state na tayo ng problem, ang isang researcher, meron siyang initial answer, di ba? Meron tayong sariling sagot doon sa ating problem na ginawa or stated problem. Pero doon sa ating ito yung tinatawag hypothesis, di po ba? Yung hypothesis natin, it could be accepted, pwede siyang rejected. Kailan natin pwedeng kailan natin pwedeng reject? This will be at the end of your study. Doon sa pagkatapos ng chapter 5. Pag natapos doon lang po natin pwedeng yung ating hypothesis or na-reject yung ating hypothesis. At state, ma'am bench.
Can be stated in two ways, ma'am. It can be stated in an alternative there are two types of hypothesis. We have alternative and the null. So when we say alternative, ang statement nito is positive. Let's say, for example, your question is there any significant difference on the height of the treatments, etc., etc.? Kapag in-state mo yung hypothesis, kapag naman sinabi nating null, yung ating educated guess, it is stated in a negative form. It is pwedeng, there is no significant difference. So, yung hypothesis natin, ito ay yung i-prove natin at the end of the study. Sabi nga ni Ma'am Donna, it can be accepted or rejected. At yun ang magbibigay sa atin ng ilaw kung ano ang magiging conclusion natin doon sa ating study. Kaya dapat we know how to state properly the hypothesis. At yun ay nakaangkla na naman siya sa ating objectives or statement of the problem. Okay, what's next, Ma'am Dong?
Ating susunod dyan is the significance of the study. Ito po yung part ng chapter 1 where we discuss and identify who will be benefiting from the conduct or from the product you are going to make. Kung product siya o kung isang proseso siya o isang invention, gadget, ganyan, who will be benefiting. So dito natin diniscuss, and then we have the last part, Ma'am Bench.
We have the scope and the limitations or the limitations of the study. Pag sinabi nating scope and the limitations, this is the part of chapter 1 wherein ang aim niya is to narrow the scope. Liliitan natin. Kasi kapag gumagawa po tayo ng study, may along the way, may mga nakikita tayo na habang ginagawa natin ang study, natin ulit dagdagan yung ating, parang related to, gusto ko ito, dagdag natin sa study until such time na ang luwang-luwang na ng scope niya. Hanggang sa hindi na pwedeng tapos yung study kasi kulang na siya sa time. Ang purpose po ng ating scope and the limitations is para malagyan ng boundary hanggang dito lang dapat yung ating study. Hindi tayo lalabas doon. Okay? So, ang pag sinabi nating scope, the scope may focus on specific variables, in specific participants, specific sites, or narrow to one type of research design. Kasi kapag halimbawa, hindi mo i-specify ang variables mo, masyadong lalawak yung study mo. Hindi klaro ang study na sobrang malawak. So, ito yung gugwardya sa atin, itong tinatawag nating scope and the limitations. So, ang scope, it involves those which you are capable to do, you're capable to handle or to manage. You should be able to provide the materials and be able to explain the principles behind your project. Well, the limitations, it involves those that are beyond your capability. Your ability to describe the scope and the limitations will help you appreciate better the nature of your research. Kapag hindi natin alam kung ano yung yung ating tinatawag na limitations, tutulong sa atin para ma-determine natin kung ano yung hindi na natin kayang gawin. Okay? Halimbawa, itong study ko tungkol lang sa, ang focus ko lang ay tungkol sa height ng halaman, kung paano ko siya patatangkarin. Pero hindi mo na pakikialaman kung gaano karaming prutas ang kaya niyang i-bear. Hindi mo na rin pakikialaman kung malalapad ba ang leaf niya kasi ang objective mo lang, patangkarin yung halaman. So, sa scope and the limitations, doon tayo naglalagay. Ilalagay natin doon na ito lang yung, hanggang dito lang yung aking study at ito yung hindi na kaya ng study ko kasi beyond na siya sa aking limitations. Kulang ako sa time, kulang ako sa kapasidad, walang laboratory to test, etc. Dito po nakalagay yon. Okay? I hope we are clear with that. Yun. And then we have the last part na, that is the definition of terms.
Okay.
Anong
Yung
purpose
ating
natin for
definition
that,
of terms, ma'am. Yung ating definition of terms, ma'am Bench, ito yung part na we try to unlock, no? The terms used in the study, no, based from how we use these terms in the study. Ito yung tinatawag nating operational definition. Paano mo ba nagamit ang example natin dyan is grinder. Kunwari, gumamit tayo ng grinder. You will define yung grinder na ginamit mo based from how you use the grinder in your study. Kung ginamit mo siya sa pag-grind ng meat, that is how you are going to define the definition of grinder or state the definition of grinder. So, ano ba ang nagagawa kapag define tayo ng terms natin? So, doon sa whole course ng ating study, kapag binabasa natin, kailangan nating maintindihan, Ma'am Bench, yung ating sinusulat, di ba? At maliban diyan, especially the one who will be reading your study. Paano nyo maintindihan? That's why you have to define the different terms occasionally. Okay? So, dyan po nagtatapos ang mga parts ng chapter 1. Okay? Move tayo sa chapter 2. Okay, chapter natin is a part where we write ito yung topic kung na ating sulat para na sa buong okay. And out of 2, we have basic for writing the steps, basic using different materials, lahat yan nandun. Okay? And the literature, ano pa natin.
Okay. So sana magandang reception. Ano po kasi medyo mahina ang ating internet. So ang related literature, these are open from journalists or any officials whereas the opinions and facts presented matters and can affect the masses' opinion and thinking. Well-related researchers or from official public offices and theses from different universities and libraries. Ayun, related literatures po, they include book citations, official websites, opinions, and facts. Well-related studies include hardbound theses, online researches, government public data. Ayan, so kapag sinabi po, ito ay maaaring makuha natin sa libro. Halimbawa, ang study natin sa plant growth, meron kang nakita sa library na tungkol sa book about sa plant growth. So yun, kapag kinuha natin kung certain portion doon, nag-cite tayo doon, ang kinukuha natin is related literature. No? Pero pag kinuha naman natin sa studies or thesis ng ibang tao or research ng ibang tao, o kaya naman ay galing sa mga official public offices, yung data halimbawa galing PSA, for example, doon ay tinatawag nating related studies. Although hindi naman nagbigay ang PSA ng libro sa'yo or ng research sa'yo or ng thesis sa'yo, pero nakakuha ka ng data sa kanila. Pero yung data na yun, they are really valid data collected from different sources. So they are considered related studies po kahit nasa public offices. Nakakuha ka ng history isang barangay mula sa barangay hall. Yun. So pwede rin considered po as related studies kahit hindi siya ginawa isang thesis writer pero nakuha mo siya sa isang public office. So it is still considered related studies. Ayan, so sabi nga natin, itong second chapter natin, mahalaga siya kasi po dito natin matutuklasan kung ano pa yung mga connected na bagay tungkol sa ating gustong i-conduct na research kasi dito natin validate baka naman yung study natin, Ma'am Donna, dati na palang na-conduct research, kaya nga sinabing search is to search again, sinabing to duplicate what has been done. So dito natin makikita na kapag nag-search tayo, yung study na unique in such a way na hindi natin naduduplicate kung ano yung ginawa ng ibang tao at mababalidate natin yon if we will have reach chapter 2. Ayan. Tama ba tayo, Ma'am Dong?
Yes. Ma'am, may tanong ako. Paano natin identify na valid yung material? Kunwari sa related studies. Kunwari, na-study siya. Gagawa siya ng fertilizer, organic fertilizer using scrap material sa kitchen. Ngayon, ano yung pwede niyang kunin relate study? Ano po yung gayon? Paano niya identify na itong study na ito kunin ko kasi valid or relevant sa study? Ano yung kailangan na consider para maka-identify ng tama o yung relevant na study pwede natin po as basis kasi natin
Yes, tama yung sinabi ni Ma'am Donna, no? Hindi lahat ay pwede nating kunin Kasi kailangan related siya. Okay? So, paano natin malalaman na related yung studies natin? Dapat kasi alam natin kung ano yung mga variables na involved sa ating study. Meron tayong tinatawag na dependent at independent variables. Kapag conduct tayo ng web searching, etc., pag naghanap tayo ng mga topics natin for related literature and studies, dapat yung mga variables na yon ang ikino-consider natin. Let's say, for example, ang gusto nating ma-determine or ma-prove ay yung effectiveness ng rabbit poop, for example, as a good organic fertilizer. Ayun, yun palang word na rabbit poop as alternative organic fertilizer, makikita mo na kung ano yung mga dapat mong i-search doon. Makikita mo na kung ano yung mga number 1, rabbit poop. Number 2, organic fertilizer. Ano bang mga possible na sources ng organic fertilizer? Kailan siya organic fertilizer? Anong content ng organic fertilizers? Sa rabbit poop naman, ano ang mga content ng rabbit poop? Lahat 'yun. Yung mga pwede mong makuhang information, masa-search mo naman po yan sa internet. No? It's just a matter of choosing a correct keyword para makahanap tayo ng magandang related literature and studies. Kapag sa study section po, it gives us the details how the study should be presented. Okay, so it is composed of different parts like the materials and equipment, the research design, the flowchart or the layout, research layout, magkasama na yon. Then we have the general procedure. Okay, so sa procedure, pwede pa siyang mahati sa So nakalagay na may mention na siya as you proceed to the environment. Meron kasi po, meron pong nagdadagdag ng research environment. Meron naman yung dinidelete ito. Minsan meron siya, minsan ay sa research environment, the study area described and management of experiment setups are explained in detail. Meron po ito sa ibang mga klase ng research din. Lalong-lalo na kapag descriptive research, kailangan describe po ang research environment. Ayun. So that is those are actually the parts of the chapter 3. Okay, let's have chapter 4 with Ma'am Donna. Nakapasok na si Ma'am Donna.
Ayan. Thank you. So, in chapter 4, ito po yung ating interpretation of data. No? So, yung ating chapter 4, dito po nagkakaroon tayo na ng, iba sa chapter 3, ang gagawin po natin dito is nag-conduct na tayo ng testing. So, nakapag-gather na po tayo dyan ng data. After gathering this data, ang susunod po dito is to present this data or collect and organize this data using tables. Gagamit po tayo ng mga tables. And then, saan natin sila ilalagay? Yung ating mga raw data po, hindi po papasok sa chapter 4. Di ba, Ma'am Benj? Doon siya papasok sa ating last part of the research paper later kapag isasabit na natin yung ating papel. Pero kailangan po naka-intact po yung ating mga data. Ano? And sa chapter 4 po, dito nagkakaroon tayo ng mga tables. Ano yung laman ng table? Usually, ito po yung mga computed na po yung mga, ano ba yun? Computed na yung ating mga data from the raw data na na-collect natin sa study, and then presented na lang po siya as computed data for interpretation. Di ba, Ma'am Benj? So, ano usually itong mga ilalagay natin dito na tables? So, yung mga tables na ipipresent sa chapter 4, these are computed values from the raw data na manggagaling sa mga raw data natin na na-collect natin doon sa testing. Ngayon, saan natin binabase po itong mga data na kukunin natin dito? Base po yan doon sa procedures na kinonduct natin, at yung procedures na yon, nagmamatch po siya doon sa SOP natin. Okay, let's say for example, meron tayong SOP number 1. Yung SOP number 1 po natin, let's say for example, describe the eco hollow block made from cow dung ash with gravel and sand in terms of durability. So, yun po ang laman ng isang table natin doon. Ngayon, kung meron pa po tayong ibang gusto pang parameters na ipipresent, no? Let's say for example, kasama pa po doon ang porosity, meron kang another set of data na nandoon. So, it does not mean na kung meron kang isang SOP, ipipresent mo isang table lang for that specific SOP. So, kasi may mga factors po tayong titignan dyan kung mamimit niya yung requirement ng hinihingi ng SOP mo para masagot mo yung SOP number 1. Okay po? Kasi yung mga interpretation po natin dito, kailangan enough yan para magiging conclusive po yung ating yung ating gagawing chapter 5 later on. So yun po ang ating mga magiging basis sa paggawa ng ating conclusions and recommendations. Okay. So sa chapter 5, Ma'am Benj, anong pinagkaiba, Ma'am Benj, ng chapter 4 and chapter 5?
Ayan. Yung chapter 4 nga, ma'am, sabi mo nga, naka-table tayo, tabulated siya. Tapos may mga interpretation siya. Pero ang chapter 5 po, ito na yung magbibigay sa atin ng summary kung ano ang resulta ng ating analysis and interpretation of data. Okay? So our chapter 5 is actually about summary, conclusions, and recommendations. Pag sinabi nating summary, we will present the summary of findings about each statement of the problem or objective. Ano yung findings mo base sa iyong analytical, statistical analysis? And then sa conclusion naman, based on that, what can you conclude? Dito mo na pwedeng i-accept or i-reject ang iyong hypothesis. Ayun. Sa conclusion. Pero yung hypothesis nung una, so ngayon, sa base sa resulta ng ating analysis and interpretation, ano na ngayon ang masasabi mo about that? Pwede mo na ba siyang i-accept? Pwede na ba siyang i-reject? Ayun na po, yun yung conclusion natin. And then recommendations naman, base sa lumabas sa ating conclusions, ano naman ang pwede mong i-recommend? Based on the result of your study, what can you recommend for future researchers and for your readers, for your audience? Ayun. So, yun po, yun yung bahagi naman ng chapter 5. The summary, conclusions, and the recommendations. Ayun. So, yun po, yun yung contents ng ating 5 chapters in our research papers, science research papers. Actually, may mga tinatawag pa tayong bibliography. When we say bibliography, these are the list of our references na naka-APA format siya. Ayan, siguro na-discuss na rin naman talaga ng mga sa teachers natin yan. And then, we also have the appendices, Ma'am Dong. Ano ba yung meron tayo sa appendices natin?
Oo. Okay. So, dito sa appendices, usually yan yung mga data natin from the procedures na na-conduct o yung natapos nating procedures, nakapresent po doon. Ano po pa, yung mga ating mga tests. No? Kung meron tayong mga laboratory tests, meron tayong mga communication letters, mga results ng test, nandoon po lahat yan. And yung ating mga MOVs. Di ba, Ma'am Bench? Yung kasama doon yung mga, lalo na doon sa mga different processes na nagawa natin in performing the different procedures sa chapter 3. Okay. Yung mga materials natin na kinailangan natin. And also, meron din yung ating mga, yung ating curriculum vitae. Okay? Kung sino po yung mga nag-conduct ng study, usually yan, kapag sa mga science classes, lahat-lahat po ng members meron po doon sa likod. And, ano pa, Ma'am Benz, may nakalimutan pa ba ako na kailangan nating ilagay
Ma'am, yung lang. Ay, okay na, Ma'am, sa appendices. Yung preliminaries lang kasi nag-start tayo agad ng chapter 1. So, may preliminary pages din tayong tinatawag. Ito yung nabanggit ni Ma'am Donna kanina, yung title page. Pero pag gagawa tayo ng technical report, ang preliminaries natin, it includes the title page, the table of contents, the acknowledgement, and if you want to add dedication, maglagay ng dedication, plus the abstract for the technical report.
Yes.
So those are pages. Aside from 5 chapters, meron tayong preliminary pages at appendices plus bibliography. So yon, o di ba? Kapag nakagawa tayo ng isang research paper, naku, achievement talaga yan. Di ba, Ma'am Dong? Yan. So that's all. Ma'am Donna?
Okay, yes. So i-review natin, Ma'am Bench, yung chapter 1 natin. Ito yung ating introduction. Okay. Yung chapter 2, ano na ulit yung chapter 2 natin, Ma'am Bench? Yung ating
related literature and studies.
Yung ating chapter 3, meron tayong methodology, and chapter 4,
the presentation, analysis, and interpretation of data.
Okay. And chapter 5, conclusions and recommendations. So, yan po yung kabuuan ng ating research paper o yung research report. Sir Dennis?
Ayan, dear learners, natalakay ng ating mga discussions in a very comprehensive way ang lahat ng kinakailangan nating malaman. Thank you very much po, Ma'am Donna and Ma'am Benj. And baka meron pa po maidaragdag sa atin sina Ma'am Bebs at Ma'am Jen. Sige po, Ma'am.
Okay, again, thank you, dear discussants. We learned a lot from you, and we hope also our dear listeners have got something from you. Talaga namang very comprehensive. So in addition to that, reiteration lang, Sir Dennis, ano?
Yes, ma'am,
Again,
sige.
research uses formal language. Okay, when we say formal, we avoid slang, avoid natin yung informal, okay? And avoid also contradictions or using the words not, okay, and so on. And as much as possible, there is also what we call the sentence length. As much as possible, 25 sentences, 25 words in a sentence. And at the same time, again, we use the APA for referencing. And lastly, siguro na pwede kong idagdag dito, sir, is that the knowledge of defining terms is also very important. So we need to equip ourselves with learning on how to define terms operationally and technically, and we will learn more of that on the next discussion by next week. So that's all. Baby, meron pa siguro kay Ma'am Bebs?
Yes, Ma'am Jennifer. Of course, thank you so much to our very intelligent speakers, Ma'am Bench and Ma'am Donna. In addition lang po, there are students who are asking, Ma'am, is there a need for the help, asking the help of our English teachers in the finalization of our research paper? My answer would be, of course, because there really is a need for grammar teachers or advisors for every group of researchers to ensure the use of formal language. As mentioned by Ma'am Jen a while ago, we need to use the formal language structure in all the contents of the paper, except of course when the contents have directly quoted interview statement. Another thing that I would like to add is the use of in-text citation and parenthetical citation. When do we use these two? In the review of related literature, we quote different statements from our source or references. We use parenthetical citations when we provide relevant source of information in parentheses whenever a sentence uses a quotation or it is paraphrased. Usually, the simplest way to do this is to put all the source information in parentheses at the end of the sentence just before the period, while in-text citation is placed immediately after the information is being cited. Yes, Sir Dennis? Sir Dennis?
Okay, finally, we come to the end part of our presentation, and we would like to say thank you to our discussant, Ma'am Donna and Ma'am Bench, and to all the listeners for their active participation. Sabi, binabati natin mga 10 Galileo, 10 Archimedes, yan, mga yan, marami pa rin sila eh. 10 Newton, yan. 10 Del Pilar, yan, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat, and thank you for your attention, okay? Para po sa ating panghuli, Sir Vic, sige po.
Thanks everyone. I guess our learners are now ready to work on the research papers, mga SSC and SPJ. Again, we are more than happy to help you, my dear learners. We are just one text away. On behalf of my fellow grade 10 English teachers, Ma'am Bevs, Ma'am Jen, Sir Dennis, and our RBI teachers, host, Sir MJ and Ma'am Jen, and our technical specialist, Sir Jashiel. I would like to say thank you very much for your active participation. We now come to the parting words from Ma'am Bez.
Yes, Sir Vic. I hope our dear listeners from the grade 10 classes have learned a lot from our discussion for this morning with regard writing research proposal, and you are now ready to use those things that you have learned in writing your own proposals.
Ma'am Jen?
Okay. Also, indeed, research or making research is really challenging, but with your efforts, of course, and with your desire to improve quality of life, we must conduct research. And this is a nice step for you to start writing your research and solve our problems.
And
Keep tuning in lagi dito sa ating radio station.
Okay. For the final parting, let's have Sir Dennis.
Okay, muli ha sa mga grade 10 po natin, lalo sa aking mga estudyante. Huwag po kayong mahihiya ha. Magtanong po kayo at pipilitin natin sagutin ang inyong mga katanungan. At alalahanin natin lagi kung ano yung ating mga napag-aralan. Yan po.
Thank you, dear grade 10. Goodbye.
Okay, so sige po. Okay, so wag po niyong kakalimutan, tabayanan po mamayang hapon ha, alauna, ang ating Mathematics grade 9. Susundan po to sa ganap na alas 3 ng Science grade 10. Okay, thank you very much guys. Thank you very much, dear learners.
So much, guys. Keep safe, everyone.
Facts and information. Today's learning for you normal with capable teachers whose heart and soul are divine. Delivered knowledge inside your home through 106.3 DANHS Radio. Fully dedicated to serve the public in tribute to education, reproduce of radio-based instruction. We are pleased to deliver the utmost aim of education only here on 106.3 TWTR FM.